like a couple of newcomers. Well, welcome and welcome back, everybody else. Thanks so much for coming to see us today. We're just going to hang tight here until we get our final clearance out onto the reserve. Now, our safari starts off in the Little Ituri Forest. The Ituri Forest is home to some of the most elusive animals here on the reserve, so we'll really have to keep our eyes peeled to make sure we can spot them. Over on the right, those are okapi. The okapi have stripes on their legs like a zebra, but don't let their zebra pants fool you. They are not related to the zebra at all. They are actually related to the giraffe. So they have the same bone and skull structure as a giraffe, just shorter and smaller. They also have panoramic ears, which means they can hear their predators from all directions. The animals here in the forest have really good camouflage. They can blend in and hide from us pretty easily. They'll even use the trees and bushes to their advantage by hiding behind. You see the black rhino. The black rhino has horns made out of keratin, which is the same thing as our hair and nails. Just like our hair and nails, their horns continue to grow throughout their lives. They're able to file them down on rocks and trees to their desired length. They are typically solitary animals because they are quite territorial, so they don't really like to hang out with other rhinos, and they are a smaller rhino weighing only 3,000 pounds. Over on the left, there's two kinds of antelopes. The copper-colored antelope with white stripes and horns is the bongo. The tan-colored antelope is the greater kudu. The bongo's white stripes help them to blend in with the sun's rays. Because of this, they are quite elusive, so they are known as the ghost of the forest. Both the males and the females will have horns, whereas with the greater kudu, only the males have horns. The females do not. That's why the ones we saw did not have horns. They were females. They stand around 55 inches at the shoulder or around 4.5 feet tall, making them the tallest antelope in the forest. Now we've exited the Little Ituri Forest and entered into the Safi River, home to some more aquatic animals, so we'll have to be on the lookout for them. Over on the right, those large white birds are pink-backed pelicans. They are named for the pink skin on their back underneath their feathers. It's pretty hard to see from the truck, but it does get brighter during mating season, like they are blushing for their crush. We call a group of pelicans a pod. Please stay seated. So that was a pod of pink-backed pelicans. Whew, say that 5 times fast. Pink-backed pelicans mate for life, so they find their one true love and they stay together forever. Over on the left, we can look out for Nile hippopotamus. Nile hippos spend most of their day underwater to keep cool. They can actually hold their breath for up to 8 minutes at a time. Their body naturally brings them up for air and sinks them right back down to continue on their way without even disturbing them. They even nap underwater, so they come up for air and sink back down while remaining fully asleep. We call a group of hippos a bloat. They are herbivores. That means they eat only vegetation. Pay close attention on the left and you'll see the Nile crocodile. Nile crocodiles are very large animals. They are 16 to 20 feet long, and they have super strong jaws that can crush through bone in just one chomp. They will also roll their eggs around in their mouth, which will aid in the hatching process by softening the shells and making it just a little bit easier for their babies to hatch. We have exited the Safi River, so we'll say after while crocodiles. And we're going to make our way towards the savannah. Over on the right, that super large tree is a baobab tree, also known as the tree of life or the upside down tree. They are leafless about 9 months out of the year. That'll mark our change of greenery, and here goes our change of scenery as we make our way towards Savannah proper. Those trees get the nickname the upside down tree because their branches look a lot like roots. So it does look like a tree that has literally been picked up and flipped upside down. Now we're going to make our way into Savannah proper. Here on the Savannah, we're going to be on the lookout for some more iconic animals. As we explore, I'll try and get us a good view of the animals before we talk about them, just to avoid any confusion. But I have high hopes we'll get to see quite a few animals. So have your cameras ready and hold on tight to them. It might be a bumpy ride. The first animal you can see is my favorite animal in the whole wide world, the Maasai giraffe. See over there on the right. Maasai giraffes stand at 16 to 20 feet tall, which, if that feels like deja vu, is as long as the Nile crocodile. There on the right, that is a baby Maasai giraffe. He's over 8 feet tall, so he is taller than all of us, but very tiny for a giraffe. Maasai giraffes spend most of their day eating the leaves off of trees. They reach their 6 long necks up towards the tree branches and wrap their 18-inch long tongue around the tree branches to pull off the leaves. The big word for that is prehensile. That means they can grab stuff with their tongues. For reference, that's around the length from your fingertips to your elbow. They spend so much of their day eating, they only spend around 30 minutes of their day sleeping. Usually that's non-consecutive. It's a few minutes here, a few minutes there, totaling up to around 30 minutes. They do typically sleep while standing up. Over on the left, there are some sable antelopes. They're more behind the termite mounds, so you can see them near the bushes. And then there's also these wildebeest here. Both are antelopes, but the sable antelope is named for its reddish-brown color. The males will be more of a brown color, and the females will be more of a red color. They are the emblem of the reserve, so that does make them pretty special. We even saw them on the sign as we entered into the reserve, so they are kind of famous. At least to me, they are famous in my heart. Now those wildebeest, like I said, they are also antelopes. They are migratory animals. That means they travel in large groups, with the largest recorded migration being 1.5 million wildebeest. They do have another name, their African name, which is Nu, G-N-U, for the sound they make. Over on the right, we can see the Ankole cattle. Ankole cattle are descendants of the bovine family, just like a cow you would see on a farm. So they have those really large horns. Their horns look really heavy, but they're actually pretty hollow. They contain only a honeycomb-like structure of blood vessels that helps them to circulate their blood and cool their body down. Big word for that is thermoregulation. Try to remember that word because we'll talk about it a lot. There might be a quiz. Ankole cattle have auntie figures. These are older females in the herd that take care of the young. The aunties even sleep in a circle around the young for protection. Over on the right, those are eland. Eland are the largest antelope. They stand around 6 foot at the shoulder. They weigh around 2,000 pounds. They have a flap of skin on their neck that hangs down and helps them to thermoregulate, called a dewlap. Ankole cattle have another name. They're also known as the Watusi cattle, named for the tribe that first domesticated them. They are one of 2 domesticated animals out here on the reserve. Over on the 1,000 pounds. It allows them to easily knock over trees and create clearings, gaining them the nickname the bulldozer of the savannah. On the left, those monkeys are mandrills. Mandrills have bright coloring that gets brighter when they are excited. They are large monkeys. The males are 80 to 100 pounds. The females are 25 to 50 pounds. So there is a large size difference between males and females, but they are very large monkeys. The largest monkeys. You can tell they're monkeys because they have tails. Now we should see those African elephants again on the right, so have your cameras ready. Now it does look like they might be playing together right now with a log. They have prehensile trunks so they can grab stuff with their trunks. Make sure we're staying seated. So one of them has a log in their trunk holding on to it. So they're probably just playing together right now. Those were female African elephants. We can tell because of their size. They're a little bit too small to be males. Males do weigh up to the full 13,000 pounds. Females only weigh up to around 8,000 pounds. They will be a little bit smaller than the males. A group of females, like what we just saw, is called a family group. A group of males is called a bachelor group. Now, males can also be solitary, which means they can be by themselves, but females will never ever be alone. Over on the right, those scrape marks in the clay wall are from elephant tusks. They'll scrape into the clay with their tusks of their feet to loosen it up, then they'll munch on the clay, and that essentially acts as an elephant-sized multivitamin. Baobab trees. Those trees do have holes poked in them. It's from animals with tusks or horns, like elephants, poking holes in the tree to pull out the tree material. What they can then do is suck water from the tree material. So they can't necessarily use the trees like a spigot, but they can get water from the trees, more like a juice box. Despite the awesome uses we've talked about for elephant tusks, elephants are actually poached, which means illegally hunted for their tusks. Their tusks are taken and used to make things like ivory jewelry and other ivory products. So if you ever see that, I urge you to not purchase it. Elephants actually have no natural predators. Their only threat is humans because of habitat loss and poaching. So we really gotta have their backs any way we can. Over on the left, these are greater flamingos. They are a larger flamingo with a pale pink color. They get their color from their diet of brine shrimp, which is full of beta-carotene. We call a group of flamingos a flamboyance, and they are filter feeders. That means they flip their head upside down in the water to filter in their food through their beaks. A lot of times flamingos stand on one leg with one foot tucked up close to their body. We've done a lot of research on why they do that. Our leading theory is that they are regulating their body temperature and cooling themselves down. So we think they're thermoregulating, but we are still researching it. African elephants thermoregulate by flapping their ears. They can cool themselves down several degrees at a time just by flapping their ears. It comes in handy. It's like their own personal ear conditioning. Here on the left, these are white rhinos. They're the larger of the two rhinos we've seen today. They weigh 4,000 to 5,000 pounds. The males will weigh up to 6,000 pounds, which is almost double the size of the teeny tiny black rhino we saw earlier. They still have horns made out of keratin, but they are much more social than the black rhino. So they hang out in groups. A group of them is called a crash. On the left, you can see that those white rhinos are hanging out by a large pit of mud that is called a mud wallow. Animals will roll around in the mud and it'll act as a skin protectant. So basically a barrier between their delicate, sensitive skin and the sun or bugs, kind of like sunscreen or bug spray, but for animals. Notice that the white rhinos aren't really white at all, and that's because they are not named for their color, rather for a mistranslation of the word vite, V-I-T-E, which means wide, for their wide upper lip. Over on the left, we're looking for cheetahs. Cheetahs are the fastest land animal. They can reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. They are also the largest cat to still make a purring noise, so they will purr, chirp, bark, and even hiss, but they will not roar. They are diurnal animals, so they hunt during the day and sleep at night. Their spots come in handy by reflecting the sun away, making it harder for them to be seen when they are hunting during the day. You could say they're pretty hard to spot. They also have black spots under their eyes that reflect the sun away from their eyes, making it easier for them to see when they're hunting during the day. Kind of like an athlete would wear eye black. Well, the cheetahs did it first. Over on the left, these are Kopi rocks. They are rocks used by savanna animals to gain a better vantage point and see their surroundings. A lot of times the animals that hang out on Kopi rocks are nocturnal, so they sleep during the day and hunt at night. Like the African lion there on the left. That is a lioness or a female lion. The lions sleep during the day and hunt at night. They sleep 16 to 20 hours out of the day to conserve their energy for hunting at night. Though I will be specific. Females do the hunting while males protect the pride. So here on the left there is another white rhino. Now this is another female. For size reference, the males will be a little bit larger than the females that we've seen so far. You can see one more female on the right. So another crash of rhinos. That's just what a group of rhinos is called. Over on the left, these are warthogs and their burrows. Warthogs are the largest burrowing animal in Africa, the second largest burrowing animal in the world. They have super sharp tusks, so they back into their burrows, their tusks facing outwards for protection. We can also see some ostrich. Ostrich are the largest bird, but they are flightless, so they cannot fly. They can, however, run at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour, making them the fastest animal on 2 legs, or the fastest bipedal animal. They can cover 10 to 15 feet in just 1 stride. These are female ostrich. We can tell because of their size and color. Males are more of a black color and they are much larger. So you'll see the ostrich on the left, ostrich eggs on the right. Ostrich do have the largest egg because they are the largest bird, with one of their eggs equivalent to 24 chicken eggs. They can withstand the weight of around 300 pounds without cracking. The savannah and heading into Magadi Glen. Magadi Glen is where we'll pass by the warden's post. The warden does sometimes have friends in funny places, so we'll have to be on the lookout for them. Over on the left, these are Nigerian dwarf goats. Despite their small size, they are full grown. They won't get any larger than this. They do some funny behaviors though, like using their great balance for climbing funny places and headbutting. Headbutting is their playful way of showing dominance to one another. basically the goat equivalent of a high five or a fist bump. Our time on the reserve is coming to a close, so we aren't going to see any more animals here. Before we part ways, though, I do want to talk to you just a little bit about ways we can protect animals and their habitats through the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. I'm sure there's ways to practice those 3 R's in your life. An example I'll tell you about from my life is through the clothing I buy and the shopping I do. So reduce, we can reduce consumption of non-sustainable materials. We can try to buy clothing made from recycled materials when we can, or we can just reduce overconsumption, only buy what we need. The less we consume, the less waste we create. Reuse, we can turn an old outfit into a costume, save our Halloween costumes for the next year, or turn old t-shirts into cleaning cloths. General upcycling and repurposing to prevent the use of single-use items, like a one-day-a-year costume or single-use paper products for cleaning. And recycle. When an item of clothing has reached the end of its life coming to us, we can pass it on, pass it down, or donate it. We can also consider shopping secondhand, as all of these things increase the life cycle of clothing and prevent them from ending up in animal habitats or landfills that are disruptive of animal habitats. It's really the little things we can do that can add up and make a big difference, but doing what you can is what matters most, so get creative and think of different ways you can make an impact in your life. Out here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. We think it's far too sad and much too final, so instead we say Kwaherini. Kwaherini is Swahili for go well. So my friends, go well, go wild, and enjoy the rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom, or wherever your next adventure may take you. Once again, my name is Logan. It's been a pleasure to be your safari guide today. Go out there, make a difference, see some more animals, and have a great rest of your day. You got it, Ord. Over in the right, watch me.